Ultimately, the total addressable market for Bitcoin would be $400 trillion. That's the total sum of the global financialized world. Bitcoin will eat that, essentially. So we're going to see a lot higher prices, $1 million, $2 million. 80, 85% drawdowns. You know, we had from 30 back to $1, 1,200 back to 200, 20,000 down to 3,800. Now 70,000 down to 30,000. And at this particular juncture, on this particular one, I don't really think about it at all, which is different than the early ones. So the early ones, because as Stacy points out, the main developing crew, the core developers of Bitcoin themselves were in revolt, and they were talking about hard forking and the big blockers, which wasn't resolved until 2017. But those types of issues were already being discussed, and those would be existential threats to the success of Bitcoin. So the downside was more. I love dunking on the Bank of England, and I predicted the pound would crash a few years ago, and of course I was right again. The Bank of England is the source of all fiat money nightmares going back to the 1690s. And they are the mother river, the mother source of all the fiat money catastrophes that we've had. And it's kind of like the Ethereum of fiat money, right? Ethereum is the source of all fiat, of all crypto, of all altcoin nightmares. And the Bank of England is kind of the source of all the troubles in the fiat money world. But Najib Bukele is right to...
Welcome back to the channel, guys. There's a pretty interesting topic news for Bitcoins. Bitcoin is a decentralized digital currency that you can buy and sell and directly exchange without any intermediary like a bank. As usual, before we dive in the video, subscribe to the Bitcoin Thinking channels and turning on the red notifications button. We're uploading daily videos on the cryptocurrency, Bitcoin crash, as well as and the information of the Bitcoin. So stay tuned until the end of the video. The creators of the Bitcoin, Satoshi Nakamoto, originally described that he need global payments and electronic payment systems instead the proof of the trust. Max Keiser and Stacy Herbert, Bitcoin will eat into global finance until it's a 1 million per coin. This was posted on Yahoo Finance 2 days ago. Bitcoin ends a dismal September holding about $19,000. Bitcoin ended a decimal September holding over $90,000, but will it assume its long promised role as a safe haven as a macroeconomic storm clouds gathers over a credit stress? The world's largest digital assets by the market capitalizations was recently trading slightly above $19,000, down 0.5% over the past 24 hours. Throughout September, Bitcoin still shows its tendency to march in lockstops with the equity markets such as the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. The second largest cryptocurrency, Ethereum by the market cap, was changing hands on early Monday, trading a little below $1,200 off approximately 1.5% from the previous days. Ethereum was withstood the volatile week with a minimal price reaction and like Bitcoin has entered the last 7 days trading flat. Both Bitcoin and Ethereum have been trading almost flat since late June, with Bitcoin hovering around the $20,000 mark and Ethereum hovering around $1,200, apart from the mid-August rally when the Ethereum touched $2,000. Look at this tweets by the SV's Bitcoin ambassador. Bitcoin and the one-hit wonder altcoins smash Bitcoin. Coin Spectator tweeted that Max Keiser predicts Bitcoin will go up fiat money. Listen to this interview, guys, right now.
And at that time, I was forecasting $100,000 per Bitcoin per coin, which is a typical 4-year cycle. What we had in 2021 was that massive China collapse in mining and hash power. So the mining and the hash power collapsed 50%. We have since recovered that now, and we're about to hit new all-time high in hash rate. Lags hash rate, that hash rate precedes price, and so we're going to see new all-time highs in the hash rate and followed by new all-time highs in Bitcoin price. The underlying fundamentals have only gotten stronger. The fiat money world is crumbling, inflation is out of control, the Bitcoin network is getting stronger. If you look at the on-chain analysis, that is to say the people who are actually doing transactions, not derivatives, but on the actual Bitcoin blockchain, we see an increase in the holdings of Bitcoin. The recent price action is driven mostly by derivatives. So the same kind of price discovery you see in the gold market that's kept gold now flat for 10 years and hasn't really budged at all.
Max Keiser posted another tweet. He talks about Nayab Bukali making Bitcoin legal tender and is a 220,000 target is still in the play. A simple question will rise in all of my audience. Can Bitcoin drop to $0 levels? Can Bitcoin drop to $0 levels? It is very unlikely that Bitcoin and the most cryptocurrency prices will not go to the $0 levels. Some experts was in the predicted that Bitcoin will go to the $2,000 levels, $200,000 levels. Many experts was predicted that Bitcoin will go to the $1,100,000 levels as well as so calm down. Bitcoin will not go to the $0 levels. This prediction is not true. Bitcoin gains momentum. Former SEC branch chief on Kim Kardashian's crypto promotions. Listen to this interview right now.
This was a gift to the SEC and Chairman Gensler. The SEC is always looking for a way to get the message out to the public. And when somebody with the kind of following that Kim Kardashian has makes a blunder like this, that's a layup for the SEC. I mean, it was just flat out a violation, and you know they were able to not just bring a case and issue a press release, but issue a press release and.
First mover dives into crypto markets with the ARCA portfolio manager's Davos Naga to explore the reasons for the sudden rally in crypto and the broader markets. Former SEC Enforcement Branch Chief Lisa Borgensa discussed the fallout of the Kim Kardashians after the reality TV star's $1.26 million settlement with the SEC over the promotions of the Ethereum Max, plus an updates on the China's CBDC rule. Bitcoin News posted a tweet. Bitcoin moves above $20,000 USD weekends continue. Bitcoin Ethereum technical analysis. Bitcoin back above $20,000 USD hit 2 weeks low. Bitcoin briefly rose above $20,000 on Tuesday as the US dollars continue to decline versus other major currencies. This has resulted in the world's largest cryptocurrency climbing to peak of $20,000 earlier in today's session. Today is the highest strong point that the Bitcoin USD has traded at since September 13 and is marginally below a ceiling of $20,000. Bitcoin price shows signs of the improvement as it could rally 7% to a resistance confluence at the $20,000.
I'm looking at a potential distribution setup that's happening here. I'm expecting one more run up, as you can see here. Like I shorted Bitcoin around here, expected Bitcoin price to come back down here, sweep the lows, the equal lows kind of formed here, go back up a little higher than the swing high formed here at roughly 20,400, and then come back down. That's what I've expected, and things are going pretty good. There are times.
According to data from FX Street, Bitcoin price has produced 3 higher lows and 2 higher highs September 18, connecting these swing points using trend lines described in the ascending parallel channels. Now Bitcoin price is retesting the lower limit of the channels, and the bounce is to be expected unless bears take control and the catalyze a breakdown. Investors can expect Bitcoins to rally at $1,000 where it will encounter resistance from where the declining trend line connecting the swings highs on May 31 coincides with the ascending parallel channels upper limit. The 2018 cryptocurrency crash is also known as Bitcoin crash and sometimes is also known as the cryptocurrency and major cryptocurrency crash. Was sell-off of most cryptocurrency was trading and storing in 2018. After an unprecedented boom in 2017, Bitcoin price was fell by 6.5% from the previous 7 days. So now we will discuss how many times Bitcoin crashed in the whole history. According to data from Yahoo Finance, Bitcoin is crashed 7 times in the whole history. We shall discuss one by one. In 2011, Bitcoin hit the big time when it soared from $2 to more than $32, achieving parity with an ounce of silver. In August 2012, the public learned that a classic Ponzi scheme updated for the digital age had been biking crypto investors for months. In April 2013, Bitcoin became a victim of its own success as investors piled onto the existing new opportunity that were buzzing on the mainstream media. When China banned Bitcoin at the end of 2013, it lost 50% of its value overnight, according to The Guardian. 2017 was a landmark year for Bitcoin, which broke all of its own records and peaked near $20,000. The pandemic did not spare Bitcoin, and when the market crashed in March 2020, the Bitcoin market crashed even harder. In April, Bitcoin was the talk of the investing world as it reared past on an astonishing $54,000 for the single coin. Then in the flash, $1 trillion in value was part of the global crypto market in the single week. Listen to these interviews right now.
Bitcoin is a digital property and digital commodity, but we do need fair accounting so more institutions come in. We need a stable coin that people can trust, and we need these tokens that are unregistered securities to be declared as such so that they have proper disclosures, proper filings, and I think all of that will happen, and I think all of it will be good for Bitcoin. And then on a macro picture, I think we have to watch what's going to happen with inflation. I think we might see a short-term bear market rally followed by some more pain, and ultimately, I think the Fed is going to have to pivot. And I really want to mention, Charles, before I go, people should really listen to what Putin just said about the global financial system, because he called out the US for our money printing policies and asked why countries should exchange goods for dollars and euros when they're losing value so quickly because of inflation and money printing. And he's predicting a world that moves away from treasuries and sovereign debt. And that means, in my opinion, that Bitcoin is coming for bonds, and that's a way bigger market cap than gold.
The chain reactions tweeted that in his Fox Business interview, Natalie Bruno, a key ambassador in the space, says we need a stablecoin that people can trust. All while the Fed clearly plans to rule out a CBDC, maybe the crypto crash is more like a controlled demolitions. That's it for today. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turning on the red notifications button so you will never miss any for future fascinating and interesting videos like that one. So see you next time.